Islamic revolution in Iran. I would like to, first of all, congratulate the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran for holding out and for surviving and for showing extreme discipline for over 42 years. We also want to thank them for their sacrifices, and we want to thank them for their concern for other Muslims, whether it's in Palestine, whether it's in America, whether it's in Africa, Asia, that we thank them, although they're facing so many challenges themselves. In fact, we would go so far as to say that they're the tip of the spear during this part of our lives, because they have had a successful revolution against the dominant force, or what used to be the dominant force in the world. That is the United States of America. So we want to thank them, we want to congratulate them, and we want to let them know how we feel. And we're in touch with their reality. Although we're here in America, we're in touch with their reality. And we can't say it more than is necessary for the time that we thank them again and again for their great contribution. But I want to say a few things about right here also. I want you to look at this as one of our old flyers. Masjid al-Islam, the victory of Islam over the Shah, and the victory of Masjid al-Islam over the combined forces of American Zionism. So when we say victory of Islam over the Shah, we're saying that we thank the people of Iran because the people of Iran have given us an inspiration. They've shown that it can be done. They've let the world know that not only can you have a successful struggle against the great Satan, but you can actually not only survive, but thrive. In the Islamic Republic today, they have the most advanced armaments, self-produced armaments, right? They have the highest level of self-produced defensive mechanisms. They're number 4 or 5 in drone technology in the world. They're shooting things and missiles and guidance systems into outer space. Can you imagine? And they're doing that all on their own. That means that not only can you have a successful revolution, but you can survive against the combined forces of Jahiliyyah. And not only just survive, but you can thrive under every boycott, under every sanction, under every low curveball that can be thrown at a people, including war. You can survive. And we thank Iran for that. Now it says the victory of Masjid al-Islam over the combined forces of American Zionism. I want to let the people know that we haven't been asleep here in America. I want to let you know that we have been busy. So I want to show you a few things that let the world know that we haven't been asleep here in America. So if you were to look at this poster, you would see the police, you would see government agents standing right here. You would also see the sign Masjid al-Islam, which we opened over 40 years ago, and you will see the Oakland Police Department, and you will see me being arrested, and you can see that I must have been in the shower when I was in the masjid, and they're taking me out and they're taking me to jail under the word of somebody who has no authority to speak about Masjid al-Islam. And this is in Oakland. And I also want to show you another picture. This is my dear son. This guy was shot 6 times, and stabbed 3 times in Oakland, California. This is my son. And you can see how one of the bullets broke his shoulder up here because the shoulder is going straight out and straight down. That's not normal. Okay, those are some of the things that we have had to deal with here. And here's some of the reasons why. It's basically, I'm sure you read Farsi, most of y'all, right? This is a picture of me on one of the front pages in Iran, in the main political newspaper there, and it says that Walayati Faqih is a protection against global fitna. So what does that mean? That means that we have been here, we love the Islamic Revolution, we love the people that are sacrificing themselves in Lebanon, in Yemen, and all over technically the Gulf, just to be clear about it. You know, including Iraq, still some tension in the Islamic Republic, but with all of that fitna going on, there's one country that stands head and shoulders above all the rest, maintaining their dignity, maintaining their self-respect, and improving in agriculture and science, right? And in all the fields of human development, the Islamic Republic is going fast ahead of the rest of that region. They're not lackeys like in Saudi Arabia, following behind and begging for any help, using all their resources, right, to buy weapons from America to slaughter their neighbors, right, in Yemen. They're not doing, that's what they're doing, but the Islamic Republic is not doing. They're supporting the people of the whole region, and we thank Allah for them. And we want to let them know that we're here, and we're not going to sit back and not mention how happy that we are about what's going on. Look here what it says. Revolution from Egypt to the Americas. Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. At the top it has who we used to call H. Rap Brown. H. Rap Brown, or Imam Jamil Alameen, was framed over 20 years ago, and he's been in prison all that time, and he's been going through medical challenges ever since he's been in there. And this is Imam Jamil Alameen. Then down here we have our brother who was assassinated in Detroit. He was assassinated in Detroit over 10 years ago. This is Imam Luqman. Then you have me down here. Now I want you to imagine what everybody feels when they see this. They know what they're looking at. They say, we got your main man, he's in prison for the rest of his life. You're the homeboy up in Detroit. We slaughtered him and shot him either 18 times or 21 times. And here you are. What this says is, nigga, if you don't get yourself together and leave us alone, we're going to kill you. We're going to do you like all the rest of your friends. Here's what we say. They have old saying in the American English about, you can kiss my behind. That's what we mean about the Americans. Brothers and sisters, when we consolidated our effort to support the Islamic Republic of Iran decades ago, this is when all of this fitna began. So you could imagine if I come into the United States of America and here, look, I got a picture. Ain't no African American or no other American ever had even contact with the Rahbar, right? And I come in through customs with one of these, a picture like this. What do you think the Americans think? And the other time, the same time, I got a big picture on the front page, or actually at that time I had the actual newspaper, right? I'm telling you, we don't fear America. We don't have we're not concerned about what they like and what they don't like. We're concerned with the truth and with the freedom of people all over America. It's not only us. Here's our brother in Nigeria, Alama Zakzaki, right? Now, if you think I had, maybe my grandson might have been martyred, or maybe my son was attacked, but he lived. Alama Zakzaki, I think it was either 4 or 6. Was it 4?
I think, I'm unsure, but it's somewhere up there.
It's either 4 or 6 of his sons were martyred in Nigeria, right? Alama Zakzaki is a friend of mine, but he's not only a friend of mine, he's the leader of the Islamic movement and a lover of Ahlul Bayt, and spreading the love of Ahlul Bayt all over the African continent. That's why they jumped on him. That's why they killed, they say 1,000. We say now, since this flyer was put out, now they have killed thousands of people. We're telling you that we're living in a world that needs unity, it needs discipline, and it needs organization. And therefore, those of us who are here in America, we say we've had enough. Yes, we spent 40 years running around talking about the anniversary of the revolution, talking about Margbag Amrika, and that was good. But now we have to develop internal institutions that feed to the outside, that support what we call it nonviolent resistance. But what we say for here in America, we have to develop a movement that is inclusive to all the people in America. Because when we say Margbag Amrika, death to America, we don't mean death to the people of America. We don't mean death to the innocent people who are of Latin origin or of other origins who've never done nothing to nobody. We mean Margbag Amrika, death to the system that has caused pain and suffering all over the world. And today, the reason I'm saying it today, especially because they just they're having some trials here. Maybe they might have found old dumb Trump innocent, but I'm telling you, the world is looking at America different than it was before. The world is seeing America as a crippled giant. And the things that we used to say years ago about Margbag Amrika, death to America, America, those slogans must have been heard by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his angels. And Allah ordered his angels to develop the environmental circumstances on this earth, and that America that we were shouting death to has technically died. That America that was omnipresent all over the world, ships and planes, and interfering with business and commerce all over the land, that America is dead. So all of our shouts, death to America, has killed it. I'm telling you, believe it or not, if you love America, you're in a lot of trouble. When I say love America, not the people. If any of you go back to last summer when they had the Black Lives Matter activities, we were in the forefront of cataloging and filming those activities and also making commentary on those actions that was going on. Okay, the other is export of the revolution. The revolution was not something like in the early years, y'all all remember, I know, we used to go around with flyers and pamphlets and passing them out like this would be the export of the revolution. But I'm telling you, the behavior of Iran and the people inside of Iran and the people supporting Iran has caused this Western system to shake and tremble in front of everybody's eyes. The revolution has been exported. Where has it been exported to? It's exported now all over the Middle East. Remember in the early part of the Gulf War, Iran was by itself. Iran was by itself, and it was fighting not only Saddam, but it was fighting America with all of its satellite imagery that it gave to Saddam Hussein. It was fighting all of America because America was supporting it with arms, and Britain and Germany and other countries were supporting Saddam Hussein with poison gas to use on the battlefield. France was sending Exocet missiles to Iraq. The Russians were sending T-72 tanks to Iraq, the most deadly at that time. And they were sending Jordanian regulars. They were sending Egyptian pilots and Egyptian technicians to Iraq. So Iran was not fighting only Iraq, it was fighting the whole world. And it survived. It survived and it thrived. We're happy to be here today so that we can remind the people that we do not have to have any misgivings or any feelings that we can't do it, because we have already seen, with no help from nobody. Okay, now Iran has, let's call it, is strategically located, and we have strategic assistance. In those days, Syria was the only Arab country in the world, right, that was supporting or leaving the Islamic Republic alone. Now we have to support Syria. They ask, why are you supporting Bashar Assad? Why are you supporting him? That's what they say to Iran. And we're supporting him because when we were all alone and nobody was on our side except Syria. And the control of Syria exercised, right, over Lebanon at that time. They allowed trainers to come in through Syria to Lebanon and train the Hezbollah. And in 2006, Hezbollah showed who it was. It showed itself the greatest army in the Middle East because it was able to defeat and make those Israelis cry on national television. They was crying big tears. They couldn't help it. They were being slapped from side to side by the trainees of the Islamic Republic. So you know, if you got the trainer here and the trainee is whooping everybody, you know don't nobody want to fight the trainer, right? I'm going to tell you something. Look at it, what's going on. They got this, the Israelis have got everybody trying to fight Iran. Why? Because the Israelis had already got whooped by the trainee of the Islamic Republic. So you think they ain't got enough sense to know that they don't want to fight the trainer when the trainees in 2006 whipped them hands down? I'm telling you, excuse me, I don't want to get excited, but look, you got to get excited or be excited when we're not on the defensive anymore. Allah is putting us on a trajectory that if we continue with Iman, that is with our faith and use vision, there's no limit to where we can go. There's no limit to where we can go. So now all we have to do is join in. Is not sit here in the West now and celebrate what they're doing back home. Now it's time for us to organize our institutional reality so that we can contribute to the struggle in the Muslim world. So that means we already see where they go. Look at the murders and the killings that they have done in Yemen. Poorest Arab country in the world being destroyed by the richest Arab country in the world. What does that sound like? I want to read something to you that at the beginning of the revolution, Imam Khomeini stated, this is one of our favorite flyers. It said, rid yourselves of depression and apathy. Improve your methods and programs of propagation. Try diligently to present Islam accurately and resolve to establish an Islamic government. Assume the lead and join hands with the freedom-loving peoples. An Islamic government will be established. Have confidence in yourselves. You have the power, courage, and sense of strategy needed to struggle for liberty and independence. You who succeeded in waking the people and inspiring them to struggle will cause imperialism and tyranny to tremble. Day by day, you are accumulating more experience, and your ability to deal with the affairs of society is increasing. Once you have succeeded in overthrowing tyranny, you will certainly be able to administer the state and guiding the people. This is something Imam Khomeini said. The first thing he said, rid yourselves of apathy. That means us here in the West, we cry about this, oh, we got the coronavirus going around here. Hey, coronavirus ain't nothing. The people in Yemen have bombs, have cholera, have the whole apparatus of the United States weapons arsenal being given to Saudi Arabia to use against those defenseless people. That's what's happening right now. So now, what about me and you? It's our duty, it's our responsibility to check ourselves out and see what in the world can we do. All right, now let's get to some of that. Now remember, there's 4 characteristics of the Islamic Revolution. First, it talked about death to America. Then it talked about export of the revolution. Now we want to go to a model of Islamic survival. And we see that the Islamic Republic, this is the 42nd anniversary, has survived 42 years of maximum fitna. That's what the Islamic Republic has done. So now, the development inside of the Islamic Republic in agriculture, in science, in technology, in engineering, all of that technology is coming from inside of Iran based on its own internal self. Nobody's coming from the outside to help it. So in missile technology, the Islam